Hey y'all, my name is Aniyah and this is Entrepreneur Diaries. If you are new here, I'm a military spouse. I have recently gotten tired of having to leave my job every single time we move somewhere. I just got told not too long ago that we're moving to South Korea, which is obviously very far. We'll be moving there in about 4 months, and in the meantime, instead of looking for another job, because we all know the job market has gotten just horrendous, okay, over the past few years. It's just been getting worse and worse and worse, and I feel like honestly by the time I look for a job in the field that I'm in, we'll be moving to Korea. So I've decided, instead of using the time to look for jobs, I've decided to just try and start my own business. I've always been a creative at heart. I create things all the time. I've been doing this since high school. Never really thought I could make a career out of it, but we are in the times of creativity, of content creation, of just art in general. We are in the best times ever to be a creative. I decided to start a print-on-demand Etsy shop where I'll sell apparel, hoodies, t-shirts, crew necks, and pretty much anything else you can print on, and see if we can turn that into a profitable business that can either supplement, preferably take over, but supplement my full-time income. So I decided to take you guys on that journey with me. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, keep on watching. The first couple months of building my Etsy shop was all about trial and error, really just getting pen to paper, getting listings up. The listings were horrendous. Now that I look back at some of the listings I created a couple of months ago, I'm just like, ugh, oh my gosh, they look so bad. But nonetheless, the first month was all about just getting out there and just getting something out and just trying it, right? Just trying it and seeing what happened. Of course, because my listings look like trash, I got no sales, y'all. No sales at all in my first 2 months selling on Etsy. And I think it is important to note that I had this Etsy shop. I'm reviving an Etsy shop. I've had this Etsy shop since 2023. We're in 2025 now, except when I opened it originally I put like 2 listings up. I forgot about it, didn't come back to it anymore. So of course I was going back and forth with myself. Should I get rid of the Etsy shop? Should I just start new, start fresh? But I already had a few reviews on that Etsy shop, so whenever I came back I was like, well, let me just try to revive this one since I already have reviews. And you already know that social proof is important whenever you first start a business, because if nobody wants to be the first person to test something out. So since I already had reviews on that one, I was like, let me just go. Even though it had a couple of sales, I had a few digital products on there that sold. When I originally started the shop, it was going to be a digital shop. I was going to sell digital planners and things, but I realized quickly digital planners take a lot of time to create. I can make them, and I was really good at making them, but they just take so much time. So I felt like whenever you're putting in that much time and then selling something for like $8, I mean, digital planners don't go for very much. I just felt like the amount of money you make off of the digital planner wasn't enough to justify the amount of time I was spending making the digital planners. And some other people may be faster. I was making every single page from scratch. I know there are some, now there are a bunch of templates and things out there that can make it a little bit faster, but I was making everything from scratch. So I scratched that idea. I left the Etsy shop. The Etsy shop went dark. It got a sale though. It was sitting for 3 years and it actually got a sale while I was not doing anything on it. So that was interesting. Whenever I logged back onto my Etsy shop and saw that there was a sale there, I was like, oh my gosh, what? But now I'm choosing the print-on-demand model just because I feel like, who doesn't buy t-shirts? I mean, who doesn't love t-shirts? I love t-shirts. I love hoodies. Everybody wears them. I do feel like the life cycle of t-shirts and hoodies and crew necks is just going to be forever. I don't think it'll ever be anything that'll die down. So that's why I feel comfortable going into print-on-demand, mainly selling those things. So fast forward, first 2 months, putting up listings, they all were trash, but I kept putting them up because the more you do something, the better you are at it, right? You learn. That's the whole point of the first part. Around month 3 with no sales is when I started kind of getting irritated, right? I've been doing this for a while and I haven't been seeing any organic traffic, so that's typically where people end up quitting. But I was determined I wasn't going to quit. I was going to keep pushing, and I'm still determined that I'm going to keep pushing through, and I'm going to break through this algorithm. It's just a matter of time. I'm going to break through it though. But around month 3 is when I started to get irritated. So me getting irritated, I actually started doing more work in terms of research. I decided to redo my branding. I started doing a lot of competitor analysis. So I started looking at other people's shops, what their shops look like, what their listings look like, what do they have in their about section. I wanted to see what everybody else was doing. And when I did this competitor analysis, I realized my shop was trash. It looked horrible. It was bad. I mean, everybody else has like a specific aesthetic that they're keeping to. Their listings are very organized. A lot of them have listing fillers that are the same. They're consistent from every single listing, from one listing to the next. They are very consistent, really great branding. You can really tell with every listing that you look at that this is the same brand that is producing this listing, and that is what my shop was missing. So I went through and I did a whole revamp of my shop. Okay, a whole revamp of my shop. Really honed in on my branding. I really honed in on just my process. So that whole thing took me about a month. So now we're at the end of month 3. At the tip of month 4, this would have been July. This would have been at the tip of July. At the tip of month 4, I actually got an organic sale. You guys, I got an organic sale. I was so excited. Even though it was only one sale, I was so excited, y'all. So excited. I told everybody that I knew that I got an organic sale. I was telling everybody that I knew. I called my husband. I called everybody. I told him, I said, my shop got a sale. My shop got a sale. And I got the one sale and everything went smooth. It shipped out fine. And then a couple weeks later, I got 2 sales in a matter of like 5 hours. 2 sales in a matter of like 5 hours, 2 weeks later. So these sales are pretty far apart at this point. And then the week after, I got another sale. So I've had 4 organic sales. Now we're in the middle of August, and I've had 4 organic sales so far. So not a lot, of course, not a lot, but enough to make me feel like, okay, I'm figuring out what I'm doing now. Now we're getting somewhere. We have a system. Now I'm kind of figuring out what my audience wants. I feel like the Etsy algorithm speaks to you. They let you know what they like in your shop, and I think that they expect you to keep pushing the same thing that they are trying to push out to people. So now that I've figured out what Etsy wants to push from my shop, now I can just give Etsy more of the things that they are already pushing. Obviously unique products, but operating in the same niches is what I'm saying. So Entrepreneur Diaries is going to be you all moving through this journey with me with this Etsy shop. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I am not an Etsy coach. I'm not going to sell you a course. I am not going to open up a class. That is not what we're doing. I think it is nice to be able to follow someone's journey, and it can definitely be inspiring, especially if you are at a point to where you just started an Etsy shop and you don't have any sales, you're just trying to figure out what to do. Maybe watching, I too am a person who goes down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I watch people who have shops because it's inspiring. You want to see what's possible and what kind of progress that they have been able to make in how much time. And there are a lot of people who have opened an Etsy shop and they got sales right away, and then there are a lot of people who open an Etsy shop, they don't get sales for months, and then there are people that are in the middle. I feel like what you always see is that people open an Etsy shop, and then once they start getting sales and they start, you know, really picking up with traffic, that's when they then say, oh, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and talk about how good my Etsy shop is doing. You don't really see a lot of people who are bringing you through the whole journey with them, where they went from having no sales to now they are having sales. They always pop in when they already are getting the organic traffic. So this is me kind of filling that gap in YouTube. You guys can follow my Entrepreneur Diaries and we can build this Etsy shop together. Today I'm going to be adding more products to my shop. Obviously we're at the tip of Q4. Everybody's preparing for Q4. I am doing the same, although I am more so focused. I'm going to be posting a few holiday-ish items, but more than anything I'm going to be focused on evergreen products. I want products that are going to sell year-round, not just in a specific time period. So what's this series going to be about? It is going to be about us following through the journey of my Etsy shop. I'm going to let you guys know how many sales I have. When I get a sale, I'm going to let you guys in on my stats, kind of what I'm doing to increase my stats. If you're interested in seeing the quality of print-on-demand products, we're going to be doing some reviews. When I order samples, I'm going to unbox them with you guys, so we'll do a few of those. Currently right now I have 51 listings and I do not run Etsy ads. I ran Etsy ads back in May when I first started my Etsy shop, and I realized that it was just suicide because I was running Etsy ads on horrible listings. So therefore Etsy was just taking my money. So there was just really no point in running the Etsy ads, and I do see a lot of people who have success without Etsy ads. Maybe whenever I get a little bit more information on what products and what listings are actually selling, then maybe I'll start running Etsy ads. But right now, no Etsy ads for me. And honestly, fun fact, I actually have gotten more sales since turning off the ads. When I had the ads on, I would get a few clicks, but I wouldn't get any sales. And right after I turned off the ads, that's when I got 4 sales. So I don't know. I really don't know the algorithm. I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. We moved to Korea in December. So the hope is that I can see some sort of proof of concept by December. And if there is no proof of concept by December, I'm not going to stop my Etsy shop. I'm going to continue to do it, but at that point I will have to seriously consider looking for a job in Korea. So there's a little pressure on it, y'all. There's a little pressure on it, just a little bit, un poquito. There's a little pressure on it. Obviously I want to do this full-time. I want to create full-time. That would be amazing. I want to be a business owner. I've been laid off from a job before, random, without any notice, and it was not fun. And I think that the more and more that I work, I think I just realized, and then the whole thing that happened with the federal government, where all those government employees just got let go at one time. I think that I'm just realizing that no one's job is safe if you work for somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody's job is safe if you work for somebody else, unless you're in healthcare. Unless you are a nurse or a doctor, they will always need you. I've always had the spirit of a business owner. I've always wanted to do my own thing. And I feel like us moving to Korea, or finding out that we're moving to Korea, was just kind of the push that I needed to go all in on it and just figure it out. I can't wait to see what comes from it, you guys. We're gonna see. So y'all buckle up and come on this journey with me. We gotta build a profitable business by December. Are y'all ready? I don't know if I am. I gotta get ready. Okay, leave me any questions down in the comment box below. If not, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna do Entrepreneur Diaries once a week. We're going to do Entrepreneur Diaries, and then we're going to do Korea Diaries, where we're going to talk about the ins and outs of moving overseas whenever you are a military family. So if you're a military spouse and you're looking for more information on moving overseas, or if you are just a person who is interested to see what it takes to move overseas, then you will like this series. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. If you got something to say, leave me a comment down below and look around on my channel. And if you like what you see, then go ahead and subscribe. XOXO, Aniyahnashee.